Welcome to Daily English Grow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Grow. I'm Maya, and I'm so happy that you are here with us today. Whether you are listening in the morning, during your study break, or before sleeping, thank you for spending your time with us.
And I'm Leo. Today's episode is going to feel warm, calm, and very personal because we are talking about a question that almost everyone hears in life.
Yes, the question is, tell me about yourself.
It sounds simple, but many English learners become nervous when they hear this question.
That's true. Sometimes people know many English words, but when someone says, tell me about yourself, their mind suddenly becomes empty.
Exactly. Maybe it happens during a class introduction, a job interview, a new friendship, an online meeting, or even when talking to someone for the first time.
So today, Leo and I will have a long, natural conversation about ourselves. While you listen, you can learn useful vocabulary, speaking patterns, and simple ways to describe your personality, hobbies, dreams, and daily life.
And remember, you do not need difficult English to introduce yourself beautifully. Simple English with confidence is enough.
Very true. So let's begin.
Okay, Maya. I'll start with the classic question. Tell me about yourself.
All right. My name is Maya, and I'm someone who really enjoys learning new things every day. I'm a calm and friendly person, and I love having meaningful conversations with people. I enjoy reading, writing in my journal, learning languages, and spending quiet time thinking about my goals and dreams.
That already sounds very interesting. I can imagine you sitting near a window with a notebook and a cup of coffee.
Honestly, that's very accurate.
So where are you from, Maya?
I come from a place where family and traditions are very important. I grew up surrounded by warm people, delicious food, and many beautiful memories. Since I was young, I always liked listening to stories from older people because I felt that every person had something valuable to teach.
That's beautiful. I think listening is a very special skill. Many people talk a lot, but not everyone truly listens.
I agree. Listening can teach you so much about life.
Well, now it's my turn. My name is Leo, and I would describe myself as a positive and curious person. I enjoy learning about people, cultures, languages, and personal growth. I also love helping others feel comfortable when speaking English.
I think people can feel your positive energy.
Thank you. I try my best. I'm also someone who believes that small progress is important. Sometimes people think success happens in one night, but I believe growth comes from daily habits.
That's such an important message, especially for English learners.
Yes, many learners become sad because they are not fluent quickly. But language learning is like planting a seed. You water it every day, and slowly it grows.
I love that comparison. Leo, how would you describe your personality?
I think I'm patient, supportive, and open-minded. I enjoy encouraging people. Even when someone makes mistakes in English, I want them to feel relaxed instead of embarrassed.
That's really important because fear can stop people from speaking.
Exactly. What about you? How would you describe yourself?
I would say I'm thoughtful and creative. I spend a lot of time thinking deeply about life, emotions, and the future. Sometimes I can be quiet, but that doesn't mean I'm unhappy. I simply enjoy peaceful moments.
I understand that. Some people recharge their energy by being around others, while some people recharge by spending time alone.
Yes, and I think both are okay.
Definitely. Do you think you were always like this?
Not really. When I was younger, I cared too much about what people thought about me. I wanted everyone to like me, and I often compared myself to others.
That happens to many people.
But over time, I learned that comparing yourself to others only steals your peace. Everyone has a different journey.
That's a powerful lesson.
What about you? Did your personality change over the years?
Yes. A lot. I used to be very shy when speaking in front of people. Even introducing myself in class made me nervous.
Really? That's surprising.
It's true, but little by little, I practiced speaking more. I accepted my mistakes instead of fearing them.
That's something many listeners need to hear.
Mistakes are not enemies. They are part of learning.
Let's talk about hobbies. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I enjoy listening to podcasts, reading motivational books, walking outside, and watching documentaries. I also like learning random facts about the world.
You sound like someone who always says, "Did you know?" before sharing a fun fact.
That's actually true.
Give us one random fact then.
Okay. Did you know that learning a new language can improve memory and help your brain stay active?
See? That was smooth.
What about your hobbies?
I love writing in my journal. Every night, I usually start by writing 1 or 2 lines, but somehow it becomes 2 full pages.
That means your thoughts are flowing naturally.
Yes, writing helps me understand my emotions and organize my thoughts.
I think journaling is very healthy.
I also enjoy reading novels, drawing fashion ideas, and learning creative things online.
Fashion design sounds exciting.
It is. I love imagining clothes and sketching ideas, especially elegant or soft styles. Sometimes I have many ideas in my mind, but drawing all the details can be challenging.
But creativity grows with practice.
Exactly.
Do you enjoy relaxing hobbies too?
Yes. Sometimes I simply enjoy sitting quietly, drinking tea, and listening to calming sounds. Life can become very noisy, so peaceful moments are important.
I completely agree. Now let's talk about dreams. What are some goals you have for the future?
I want to continue improving my English and become more confident when speaking. I also want to create meaningful content that helps people feel motivated and hopeful.
That's wonderful.
I believe words can really change someone's day. Sometimes one encouraging sentence can stay in a person's heart for years.
That's very true.
I also dream about building something creative in the future, maybe related to fashion, communication, or storytelling.
You seem passionate about creative expression.
Yes, I think creativity allows people to show their emotions and personality.
For me, one of my goals is to keep helping English learners feel more confident. I know many people are intelligent, but fear stops them from speaking.
Fear is powerful.
Yes, but confidence grows through action. Even if your pronunciation is not perfect, speaking is still important.
Absolutely.
I also want to travel more one day. I think meeting different people and learning about different cultures can teach you a lot.
If you could visit one place tomorrow, where would you go?
That's difficult. Maybe somewhere peaceful with nature, mountains, and small cafes.
That sounds relaxing.
What about you?
I would love to visit places that feel magical and emotional. Somewhere with beautiful streets, bookstores, warm lights, and peaceful evenings.
You describe places like scenes from a movie.
Maybe because I watch too many dramas.
That explains everything.
What does a normal day look like for you?
I usually wake up early because I enjoy quiet mornings. I like drinking water, stretching a little, and planning my day before checking my phone.
What does a normal day look like for you?
I try. Then I spend some time reading or listening to educational content. During the day, I work on projects, study, and practice different skills.
Do you ever feel unmotivated?
Of course, everyone does sometimes.
So, what do you do when motivation disappears?
I remind myself that discipline is more reliable than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but habits keep you moving.
That's such good advice.
What about your daily routine?
I like slow mornings. I usually take my time waking up, organizing my thoughts, and preparing for the day. I also enjoy listening to English podcasts while doing simple tasks.
That's a great habit for improving listening skills.
Yes, and I try to learn new vocabulary naturally instead of memorizing long lists.
That's smart.
At night, I usually reflect on my day. I think about what I learned, what I felt, and what I want to improve tomorrow.
Reflection is powerful.
I think people grow when they become honest with themselves.
Maya, what is one challenge you faced while learning English?
Speaking confidently.
I think many listeners relate to that.
Yes, I understood many things while reading or listening, but speaking felt scary. I worried too much about grammar mistakes and pronunciation.
What helped you improve?
Practice and patience. I realized that waiting for perfect English before speaking is impossible.
Exactly.
I also started talking to myself in English sometimes.
Honestly, that's one of the best methods.
At first, it felt strange, but slowly I became more comfortable expressing my thoughts.
I think confidence grows quietly. One day, you suddenly realize you are speaking more naturally.
Yes, and small progress matters.
For me, one challenge was overthinking.
Overthinking can be exhausting.
Very exhausting. Sometimes I spent too much time worrying instead of taking action.
I understand that feeling.
But I learned something important. Action creates clarity. Thinking forever usually creates more confusion.
That's such a strong sentence.
Thank you.
Let's talk about friendship. What kind of people do you enjoy being around?
I enjoy being around kind and honest people. I don't care if someone is rich or popular. I care more about how they treat others.
That says a lot about a person.
I also appreciate people who support your growth instead of competing with you.
Healthy friendships are very important.
Yes, what about you?
I like people who are calm, genuine, and emotionally mature. I enjoy deep conversations more than superficial ones.
Same.
I think real connection happens when people feel safe being themselves.
That's true. And sometimes people remember how you made them feel more than what you said.
Exactly.
Do you think social media changed communication?
Yes, in many ways. It helps people connect, but sometimes it also creates pressure and comparison.
I agree. Many people compare their real lives to someone else's highlight moments.
That's why protecting your mental peace is important.
Definitely. Before we finish, let's give some advice to our listeners.
Okay, my advice is simple. Do not be afraid of speaking imperfect English.
That's excellent advice.
Many learners stay silent because they fear mistakes. But silence will never improve your speaking.
Exactly.
Use English every day, even for 5 or 10 minutes. Speak to yourself, watch videos, repeat sentences, and practice naturally.
And please stop comparing your beginning to someone else's advanced level.
Yes, everyone learns at a different speed.
I also recommend enjoying the process. Learning English should not feel like punishment.
That's true.
Watch movies you enjoy, listen to podcasts, read simple stories, and learn vocabulary connected to your interests.
Because when learning becomes enjoyable, consistency becomes easier.
Exactly.
And one more thing, be proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
Learning another language is not easy. Every sentence you understand is progress.
Every small step matters. Maya, I really enjoyed today's conversation.
Me too. It felt natural and comforting.
I think many listeners will feel inspired to introduce themselves more confidently.
I hope so.
If someone listening right now feels nervous about speaking English, what would you like to tell them?
I would say this: your voice matters, even if your English is not perfect.
That's beautiful.
Do not wait for perfection before expressing yourself. Confidence grows when you practice, not before.
I completely agree.
And remember, language is not only grammar and vocabulary. Language is connection, emotion, and communication.
Very true.
So speak, make mistakes, laugh, learn, and continue growing.
That's the spirit of Daily English Grow.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
We hope this conversation helped you learn new vocabulary, improve your listening skills, and feel more confident speaking English.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to practice speaking after listening. You can even repeat some of our sentences aloud.
And try answering the question yourself. Tell me about yourself. Speak slowly, naturally, and confidently.
Remember, progress happens little by little.
Thank you for being part of the Daily English Grow family.
Take care of yourself, keep learning, and never stop growing.
See you in the next episode.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.